y'all. Welcome to the Godly Vibes and Blessings podcast. This is quantereid, your host, and it's so good to be here. It's so good to be back in front of the camera. I'm saying this in faith, by the way, because I am working on getting through my nerves. Because it's been a minute. It's like so shocking to be in a new place, and it's different. This is the first time recording a new set in a new place, so I am happy, grateful, and blessed to actually be able to have it set up because it took a minute to get set up because your girl was being she was being a little disobedient, a little bit. So the Lord spoke to me. He was like, it's time. You can't wait no longer. It's time to get back in front of the camera. It's time to get back on the mic. It's time to speak light into people's lives so they will not continue to live in darkness. So that's why we're here again. And we ain't going nowhere because, you gotta stay lit. Once you become lit, you gotta stay lit. And we all know that it's a different process for everybody. And we know that it may take more time than for others. And it's never going to ever be a time where you're just going to check that off. Like you check off list to go to the grocery store. It's a continual thing. Being obedient is a continual thing. And you will fall sometimes and you will fall short in doing it. You will feel like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this or I'm not good enough to do this. And that's pretty much where I was before getting back in front of the camera this time, like right now in this season. I was like, Lord, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel anything. I don't feel the drawing, the pulling towards it. I knew I was having to do it based off of a couple things that he was telling me here and there. The little things, it's the little things that he mentioned to us that we kind of brush off, and I was brushing those things off. And he was like, all right, now, I know all of that stuff add up over time. Once you actually sit down and like, oh my gosh, she was telling me this whole time, it's time for me to get back in action. It's time for me to do this. It's time for me to do that, or whatever the case may be. It was time for me. And like I said before, in the past, I was like struggling. I was doubting God. I was like, I can't do this. I don't wanna do this. I wanna help the people, but I don't want to. I guess some things wasn't really about you guys. It was more so about me addressing my own personal things I had to deal with and bring to God. And this is what brings us to our topic of this episode, which he pretty much just gave me today because I was getting in front of the camera today and he told me to record, but I was not feeling it. Like I said, I was not feeling it at all. My producer was like, get dressed, go. She put the mama voice on me. She was like, you gotta go get dressed and get ready to record. So I got myself together and I was like, Lord, you're gonna have to meet me because I have no idea what you want me to talk about. I don't know nothing. I don't know what we're doing. I'm gonna get dressed and I'm gonna go sit in this chair and you're gonna have to download it to me. And the enemy was trying to get at me even in that moment of me getting dressed. Who's like, what are you going to talk about? You ain't got nothing to talk about. You haven't been sitting with him. You haven't been doing this. You haven't been doing that. And it was just a whole lot of lies started rolling in. And it was kind of distracting me. So I had to turn on my worship music. I had to keep it on the whole entire time. I had to let that moment sink in and calming down and put me in the right mindset to receive from God, to receive his word, for my ears, my eyes to be open to see what he has for me to say concerning people, like I said, that are walking in darkness that needs to go. They gotta go a different route. They gotta change their way of doing things. They gotta walk into the light. So as I began to sit down, he spoke to me. He told me that it's things that we are all dealing with and that we are able to connect with in this moment and be vulnerable with one another and with him about how it's hard to be your full self, how it's hard to be your full bloom. So when I sat down, I kid you not, y'all. First of all, let me go back. I have been journaling for a while, and my last journal I finished. So it had been some time in between time of me actually going to purchase another journal so I can continue to write. So within the last few weeks, he's told me to go to the store, go get a journal, go get you a purple pen because I gotta write in purple pen. Everybody know that when I journal, I write in a purple pen. So I purchased this journal and it says "Live in Full Bloom." I love flowers. I love plants. I'm a plant mom. I'm that girl. I'm a green thumb. I got a green thumb. They live over here. But I purchased the journal not even thinking about what it said on the front of it for real. I was like, oh, this is cute. And I purchased it out the store. Boom, boom, boom. The next thing you know, I started journaling one day, and he started speaking to me about the title of the journal. And that's why I was like, God is so strategic, because why would he, like, out of all the journals I went to like 2 different stores. Out of all the journals, this one stuck out to me. And I didn't even think past of the fact that it was cute. I was just like, oh, all right, bet this is nice. I like flowers. Like, boom, boom, let's go. So as I am getting ready to sit and talk with him and just meditate, this is back in August. He tells me that um we cannot live our lives in half bloom. It's so many times where we feel like we get to a certain point, a certain place, and we just stop, and you try to figure out, oh, what is happening? You let the storms and the valleys and different things and distractions, all those things get in the way of you continuing your path, your walk, your journey with your purpose, and just becoming the full version of yourself that God has created you to be. And that's what happened to me. I got caught up in all the things happening in my life, different seasons and different times, and all the things I have been experiencing, that I let it get in the way of my relationship with God. I let it get in the way with how I was connecting with Him. And I know I mentioned the topic, but I didn't say it. The topic is, how do you get through this struggle of feeling like you're in half bloom? How you get through feeling like you're growing, but you're also not growing. You're that stagnant moment where you're so close to getting to what you desire, what your heart desire, and what the Lord showed you, but you can't see it through. And I had to go back and look at this stuff that He told me the other day, because I was starting to doubt it. I was starting to doubt my abilities. I was like, why did you call me to do this? What made me good enough to get in front of the camera to talk? You know, what things are I having experienced that's valuable to people? You understand? Like, I was listening to all the things of why I couldn't do it, and not looking at the things why I should, and how I actually could make this happen, how I can actually be who He told me to be. And when He was talking to me in my journal, He told me that so many people, just how people are in the grave and go to the grave with their purpose and their dreams not coming to pass and not living it out. That's how we are when we're in half bloom. He wants us to be in our full bloom. He wants us to live our life to the fullest. He wants us to enjoy life, and He wants us to be the person He called us to be. We have to look at ourselves through His eyes. He sees our flaws, and He does not count them against us. He does not condemn us. He doesn't make us feel bad and point out our wrongs and do what real people do. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not real. I would say the worldly way of approaching people. He doesn't look at us like that. He has His own values that He sees, and we have to pick those values up. And that brings me to us having to put all that stuff on the table. Evaluate your life and let Him reveal those things and habits that you have picked up or you have created yourself, the principles and platforms that you have created yourself that's caused you to think a certain way or to act a certain way concerning yourself. So for me, like I said, I was beating myself up. I was beating myself up when it came to my purpose. I was beating myself up when it came to me even like moving forward in certain areas in my life. I was punishing myself for whatever reasons, other than the enemy trying to stop me from being the light that I am called to be. I am not a child of darkness. I am a child of light. So why am I living in areas and places in darkness and alleys when He's called us to be in the city? He called us to be you know what I'm saying? He called us to be up front. He didn't call us to be in the back. He didn't call us to be up under a trash can lid. He didn't call us to be in any places of darkness. He called us to be here right now, alive and well, spreading His truth and His light, loving one another and loving ourselves. Right? I cannot do GVB without loving myself for real. I cannot do GVB without loving others. And I don't have a love problem when it comes to other people. My issue, because some people may have a different issue, my problem is me not loving myself. My problem is being so hard on myself, where I am being so hard to the point where I am backing out of, not I wouldn't say the commitment to it, but backing out of take it back. I feel like I do have a problem with not being committed to being my full self, to walk in my truth and who I am called to be, who He called me to be. Now, I am able to walk in the truth when it comes to, okay, I do know that I was supposed to do this. I do understand that truth. I do understand, and I want to commit to it. I'm just struggling in my commitment to do what I have to do sometimes. And that's what everybody, life happens, distractions, you know, bills, relationships, like all those things can come in a way in us fulfilling those desires that what we have for ourselves and what God has for us. And in the midst of all of that, the enemy got his little 2 cents to put in there too. He plants seeds of negativity in our thoughts, in our mind, and make us feel like, okay, this is the truth about you. You are XYZ. You can't do this. You can't do this. Or I mean, you can't do that. Um, you are not meant to do what you're called to do. It's no way he'll call somebody that's done XYZ to do this. You know, it's no way he could change somebody that's consistently being hard on themselves, beating themselves up 24/7, or whatever the case may be. Like, is he put those moments of doubt in our mind where where he's able to just come in and have way and do what he want to do. He disrupts the good seeds that you have planted. He shakes up those beliefs that are solid beliefs that we should stand on, and he replaces them, and you start to believe the lie that the enemy has placed as a belief. And I have done this so many times, and I get so mad at myself. Even when I am getting ready to come to the table and address these things, he finds a way for me to be angry at myself for allowing it to happen. That's a waste of time. I'm realizing that's a waste of time. All I can do, I'm not perfect, and God is not asking me to be. What I need to do is partner with him in that moment. I need to bring all those things that I feel, and the doubts and the fear and the anxiety and depression, whatever I am dealing with. I need to bring all those things to the table for him to review with us. It's like with me, it's like we're sitting in a meeting with him. And that's how I treat my time with him. Okay, we're sitting in a meeting. What we want to talk about. I get my feelings out. I get how I feel. I be vulnerable. I be transparent. I just speak the truth to him and tell him how I feel exactly. No sugarcoating. I talk to him like I'm talking to y'all. I talk to him how I talk to my best friend. I talk to him. And when I talk to him, I'm like, okay, Lord, I need you to come through. Because right now in this moment, I am weak. I'm honest with him when I'm weak. I'm honest with him when I am not feeling like help my unbelief. I'm not feeling like my faith. My faith is not where it's at right now. And even in those moments, I have to rule, okay, like, even if my faith is not there, he will help me where I'm not believing like I should. He will help my unbelief. He will strengthen me when I am weak. And I can be like, okay, we saying all this good stuff. Okay, what's up? Wait, what can I do to actually do that? So he had me to sit down and write out things that'll help me be in full bloom. Because I asked him a question. I was like, how he said it? Let me go to it real quick. He said we cannot be in half bloom. We have to be in full bloom. And the only way we can be in full bloom if we allow him to be with us every step of the way. So I was like, Holy Spirit, what does that look like? How do I open my heart to receive more? How do I open my mind to be renewed? How do I open my myself to believing that the things that I desired and that can come to pass, and that I'm worthy of the things that you've shown me. Right? So he told me we have to, because it's something you can do and apply to yourself. We have to daily demonstrate giving ourselves grace. So when he told me that, that became my word for the rest of the year. I know some people pick a word for the whole year. I'm being honest, I don't remember the word I had for the beginning of this year, but right now in this moment before 2024, 2020, oh yeah, it's 2024. Before 2024 is over with, my word is grace. I have to give myself grace in us walking through this season of letting these things go, because it's not much time we have left, and I cannot allow these things to continue to get in the way to stop me from doing what I have to do. And we all know that it's so many things happening and going on in the world, and we are not only picking up and feeling those things. I mean, we're not only feeling those things that we feel in ourselves, we're picking up the things that we're feeling around us is going on in the world. So we have to learn how to basically identify the things that are causing those things to happen in us, and what we got to do. What does he want us to do with the information and feelings that we're picking up? Are there things we're supposed to let go? Are there things we're supposed to address? Like, we have to actually process through that. And you can't do that if you don't even know how to process through your own feelings. Like, how can I expect myself to understand, okay, I'm actually picking up on XYZ over here because I need to pray for this person. But I'm not able to do that if I'm not clear and have any clarity on my relationship with God. I don't have any clarity or confidence in who He called me to be, you know? And to kind of like pause in what I've written for my journal, I had a dream, not last night, I believe it was the night before. And I was at this event. I can't tell if it was a church or not. I feel like it was either a church or either event at a facility or something like that, a conference or a concert, something like that was happening, right? So I end up leaving the event early and walking onto the front, like the front little area of the building, right? And it's this guy that I was speaking to, and I said something. We were just all generally talking. It was somebody else, some other people with me. I think Jess was with me too. We were all just talking, and I said something about light or something like that along those lines. And he said something really smart as mouth to me about it. And I was like, first of all, I think he said something along the lines like basically about Christians or people, believers or whatever, not treating others right or whatever. I said that may be the case for certain people, but I was explaining to him, I have been a good friend to you for years. Mind you, I don't know this person in real life. I don't even know, couldn't tell you nobody that looks like the person that was in my dream at all. So anyway, he said that, and I was like, first of all, I've been a good friend of you for the long as we've been friends. And he was like, you're right. And then he kind of got, I think I said something that woke up something in him, because as I was speaking to him, he ended up leaving off. It was the steps. I think we're on the steps in the front of the building. He ended up walking down the steps and getting ready to leave or whatever. Because I think, like I said, I said something that shook him up. And as he was beginning to leave, I see a piercing light, it was like the street light, and then it was a piercing light, like all at once in the same area. So he begins to walk, and then on the side of him, it was some dark spirits. I would say, I remember seeing three things. It was like these two little, tiny little, toddler looking, little scary looking demons or whatever. And then it was this witch, a warlock or something. They had like a dark thing going, and they were beginning to say and torment him. It's just that fast, just as fast as he walked away from me. The distance, they were right there ready to draw him in on the dark side, draw him into probably beat up himself for even having that moment with me or in front of everybody, could embarrass him. So as that happened, I noticed them starting to torment him and speak negative words and putting thoughts in his head. So I began to walk down the steps and start speaking life into him and start telling him, you can walk in the light. You shouldn't feel ashamed. You do deserve light. Like, I started speaking into his life, and he began to literally change his path, like his walking path. He started walking more towards the light. And I was like telling him, walk in the light, walk in the light. You deserve to be in the light. So I just said it so intensely. But yeah, like, y'all deserve to be in the light. Do not let the enemy catch you up and make you feel like you do not deserve to be here. We have to continue to spread the light, and we have to live by his truth. And the Bible says that, right? Like, we have to live in his truth, in light. The truth will set you free. Nobody talks about how hard it is living in true freedom. It's hard, but it looks easy. When you see people that are living in their full bloom, they make it look easy, but they have also had to go down this path of putting everything on the table and telling God, okay, this is what I have. This is what I need to let. God's gonna, all right, this is what you need to let go. And then just let it go. We have a problem with, I know I have one, of holding on to things so tight that I feel like I don't deserve to let it go. That's me punishing myself. So I actually had to sit down with him, set things on the table, and let it go. And me even remembering that dream, him giving me that dream about me spreading somebody and bringing them to the light, let me know that, okay, all those tormenting things that I have been through, all the, the storms that I have been recently going through, like the heaviness I've been feeling, the Goliath that's been trying to step on me and strangle me, he's trying to prevent me from telling that one person. Because what if I actually meet this person down the line in real life, that they have to live in the light, that they deserve it. He's trying to make me feel like I don't deserve the light. But God called me to be a child of light. He wouldn't have given me become Let's Stay Lit. He wouldn't have given me godly vibes and blessings if he didn't see me fit to sit in front of this camera and speak to you guys and speak life into your life. Light into your life. Same thing. Because light is life. But yeah, so I'll give you some points real quick. Okay, so I also read from a scripture, and it is John 1:5. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, I got my Bible. I got to go between the two. So here we are. It says, so I said John. Yeah, I said it right. John 1:5. That light shines in the darkness, and yet the darkness did not overcome it. The enemy's best cannot stop God's light. The enemy's best cannot stop us. He can try hard as he can. He can break you down to the ground. And long as you know that you deserve the light, long as you know that you can get up, long as you know that you can do it with him, with God, you will get up. Eventually, you will get up fighting and swinging. It may take you some time to get that strength up, your faith up, to be able to swing as hard as you need to. Because we got to wake up. We have to not be people who are fearful and walking in fear and just being okay with being in chains, being okay with living in darkness. We can't do that. We don't deserve that. God didn't create us to deserve that. He wanted us to defeat it, not to be overcome by it. He wanted us to overcome it. So continue to walk in light. Continue to pick up your Bible and start reading. Continue to have people in your community and create a community space where they're positive people. They're trying to help you get on the pathway or the journey of healing and being whole and just walking in your truth and becoming your full self. And that may be you doing some things that you didn't think or expect yourself to have to do. It can be simple as you changing your wardrobe. It can be something simple as you waking up and talking and speaking into the mirror and to yourself. It can be something as simple as you changing your routine, adding your health to your routine to make you have a healthier body. Creating. I know for us, we're creators. Like, he wants us to create. Sometimes if I don't, like how people get hangry, if I don't create, if I get to a certain point, a certain amount of time and I do not create, I feel that way. I feel heavy. I feel constrained. I feel like suffocating. So the enemy will try to suffocate us and kill your good seeds that God has planted or placed in you, or even other people has placed in you, to destroy you, to stop you from becoming your full self, to stop you from doing and fulfilling your purpose that God has placed inside of you. So I had to take that time to put things on the table, like I said, reveal it to him, be transparent. I had to trust God for real. And I'm still learning how to trust God for real. And I still struggle like real bad sometimes. Like, I be struggling, trusting God. I be like, Lord, how you? I be like, but why? Or I question him, or I'm not patient. And patience is something I know that if I learn to be patient with God and patient with myself, then I will successfully get to the full bloom that he's calling me to be. I'll successfully get there. Okay, I have points. That's why I'm looking down. He also said for me to tell you guys to look through his eyes. When you look through when you look through his eyes, when it comes to, it's like you exposing yourself to God. Even though he knows the things that happen, he wants you to be honest and open to him. Because if you be open to tell him the things that you're dealing with, tell him the things and doubts and whatever it may be, revealing wise, he's going to help you walk through it. And walking through it is going to be so uncomfortable that you're going to have to focus on his eyes. What I mean by that is you're going to have to focus on how he see you. Because if you focus on how you see yourself with all those things on the table, you're going to eat yourself up a lot. And you're going to help the enemy destroy you. He's going to use that moment and opportunity in that window to get in again. So when you're laying all these things on the table for God, get on that side of the table with him so he can point out the things to you. Don't you be going to telling him, all right, this, and that. Because like I said, he's going to try to distract you. He's going to try to get in your head and make you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. And you may feel that way, and you might end up taking all that stuff from the table and telling God, actually, I don't want to do this no more. Actually, I don't think it's a good idea. Meanwhile, that's your window. That's your door. That's your door opportunity to be free. Right? So don't let him do that. And even when you are addressing those things with God, forgive yourself. I'm still trying to forgive myself. I'm still trying to forgive myself for feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm still trying to forgive myself for believing the lies for so long. Even though I have been doing my podcast, I have been doing this thing for GBB throughout the last few years. the consistency part of it would beat me up. I'd be like, okay, I wasn't consistent enough. But the Lord was like, okay, no, I actually pulled you to the side in certain moments, in certain seasons, for certain reasons. And we always questioning God's way, and when we assume that we are not in the right place at the right time. That's not always the case. I'm not saying sometimes it ain't our fault, or that we're not actually helping ourselves in those moments. But God is actually coming through for us when we feel in our lowest moments. He is actually putting us in places to put that, I would say put that light on us. Well, yeah, he's putting that light on us and exposing those dark areas so they can go away. Like, so you can know when they come up, you know how to address them. So you'll know how to stomp on the enemy's head when he tried to plant seeds or try to enter into your place of being in the light, your season of doing that and being that. So, yeah, so make sure you give yourself grace. Make sure you're led by the Holy Spirit on when to address these things and how to, and be patient with yourself through the process. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Right? So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast right here. But before I do that, we have a community, a new community. It's not on social media like it usually is. It's not on Facebook. It's not on IG. It's going to be through email blast. So make sure you join the community there, and you'll be able to communicate with me. I'll be able to talk to you. We'll be able to talk to one another, because we need each other right now. We need each other right now in this moment. It's a lot of things happening in this world, and we have to stick together. We have to let our light, even if my light is dim, I can get picked up from you guys, or vice versa. So make sure you join the community. We'll drop it in the comments so you know how to do that. And you already know the motto, y'all. Become lit, stay lit, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.